This is Small Talk with 101 ESPN's Michelle Smallman.
What's up, Shellies, and welcome into episode 141 of Small Talk. Your boy, Steve Ceruti, and your girl, why did I say that? Who knows? Michelle Smallman.
Hot start.
Hot start today. Steve, I'm not in my normal location. I'm actually in the back bedroom at my parents' house. I had some biz to handle on the ill side today, and we had to tape at a certain time. So I feel like off my game because I'm not in my normal chair.
You in the burbs right now? This is the burbs? Like, you look like you're in a cellar.
So this is the back bedroom. We call this like the sleeping room because, I mean, I don't know if you can really see back here, but it's a...
Ooh,
it's
wait, we got a nice little wall there. What do we got? Ooh.
Yeah, some woodworking. My parents' best
Like
friend.
some Chip and JoJo shit right there. Looking good.
Yeah, my parents' best friend, Mike, is a very talented handyman, and he did a little woodworking here. Some nice, I don't know what you call those, lighting fixture sconces, maybe? I don't really know what those are.
Wait. So this isn't your bedroom though growing up, correct?
Oh, no, that's down the hall.
So did they do something else with that room? Your parents, once you got out, were like, we're gonna kick Michelle's stuff out and make this into like an activities room?
It is not an activities room. It's actually just kind of a place that harbors all of the crap that I don't want or need anymore.
Your personal storage room. That's pretty nice. That's pretty great.
And my mom constantly is like, you need to come in here and get all this crap out of here.
No,
and
I don't.
Like, yeah, next week, Sunday dinner, I'll do it. And then I'm just not going to do it.
Was it clothes? Is it furniture? Like, what is in there? Is it like stuff from high school?
Stuff from high school.
Yeah.
And my like soccer stuff is back there. My stuff from my sorority days. Like I opened the closet back there because I needed to put something in there. And there's still the laundry basket from my Theta days that has all my like KAO
Theta
stuff. Yeah, Kappa, Alpha, Theta, all that stuff. And you know, that's a process. To get rid of all that stuff is a process. Do I need it? No. Would I like to hold it and feel the memories again and then part with it? Yes.
You're not really a hoarder though. I know you're not a hoarder, but you're not someone who like, who keeps shit that they don't, except for sentimental value or whatever. But it is a weird dynamic at your parents' house because there's like, I have stuff from like elementary school, like projects that I've worked on, like something from the science fair that we built when I was like 12. There's like old jerseys in there. There's my Letterman jacket, which I think I wore one time.
You had a Letterman jacket? Shock.
I don't even know why I never wanted a Letterman jacket. I shouldn't say that. I never wanted to wear a Letterman jacket. But I got one, and it's basically, I think I wore it one time for like a picture deal at school once. And it's been in my parents' closet ever since. I have no idea why my parents would have said yes to buy. They knew I wasn't going to wear it, but it's going to sit there in my closet for. So what do I do with that? I can't donate it I guess I could donate to like Goodwill or something, but who's going to want my Letterman jacket? This is like Ceruti on it.
Wait, does it have leather sleeves?
Leather sleeves. It's blue S for Southington. What's up? And then on the back, we got football, golf. No big deal. The rare football golf combo.
NBD, two-sport athlete. No,
yeah.
Ceruti.
Well, I played golf because it was easy. Like I actually grew up playing baseball, but I knew I wasn't great at baseball, and I probably would have made the team, but would have sat the bench. And I was like, do I want to work really hard and play baseball all day out in the hot sun and not really get any playing time? Or I could play 9 holes every day after school and play on the golf team because I was pretty decent at golf. I'm like, I think this is an easy choice. So I ended up picking golf, which was the greatest decision of my life.
Okay, so you got the Letterman jacket. Follow-up question. Did you get a class ring?
No. That is so weird. So now you got a high school class ring? I get it for college, but high school?
College? Who has a college class ring?
Oh, I think college is way more acceptable than high school. Yeah. Well, You'd rather have a college ring now than a high school ring, no?
I don't want either of them. I got it. And I think once, and then I put it in a drawer and it's still back there.
But you identified probably more with college than high school, right? If you had
50-50 split. Don't forget your roots, No,
I know. I think most people would probably pick college over. Well, I don't know. That's a good call. Maybe we should do more on that.
St. Louis is like where did you go to high school?
What high school? Yeah, that's fair. But I don't have a ring. I was never a ring guy. I mean, I'm married now and I don't even like wearing my ring. So what's up? I constantly fidget with it. It's actually a miracle I haven't lost this thing yet because I take it off all the time and like move it around and put it in my pocket and shit. Because it's just like it's hot, my finger swells up and it feels uncomfortable. I don't know. Don't like it. Anyway, but never was a ring guy. And then did you get I didn't get like a yearbook in college or anything. I got a yearbook in high school, obviously, because that's what everyone did. But I didn't get a college yearbook. No, pass.
I got one.
That's what Facebook's for.
I got one my senior year. It's still in there. I should go open it and find my photo. I wonder what I looked like my senior year of college. I forget. Should we pause and I'll go get it?
Yes, for sure.
Okay, I just showed Ceruti my college yearbook. Why I spent money on this, I don't know. It's pretty hefty.
You bought it or your parents bought it? I feel like,
Well, I bought it, but I'm sure my dad paid for it.
Yeah, exactly. There's no way. Like, I feel like I didn't pay anything up until basically once I moved out of the house. But I remember my parents asking me if I wanted a college yearbook, and I was like, no. They're like, are you sure? It was mostly my mom. She's like, are you sure? I'm like, what about the memories? I'm like, what do you mean the memories? Like, they're in my head, and I have Facebook. Like, if I want to keep up with these people, I'll hit them up and I'll check them out on Facebook.
Zero memories in this. I don't know. I looked to the page I was on. I didn't know one person on that page.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there is just the nostalgia factor of looking back and holding a physical book. But again, that book, you're only going to be able to access that book at your parents' house. Like, I'm not at all my yearbooks are at my parents' house. I think I have every yearbook for my entire life. Probably. I'm sure you do too. Like elementary school, middle school, I have every single one of them. And like the elementary ones they're very small. They're the little skinny ones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like so every like decade I'll go back and look through them. Like different girlfriends would come in, they come over to the house. I remember Maddie like showing her the yearbook and this and all the prom photos, right, that everybody has. But there's really no reason to look now back before like social media and Facebook. I get why they might be somewhat relevant because you're like, oh shit, I don't even remember this person's name when you're flipping through pages. Now I feel like all the people that we went to school with, we just know through social, even if we don't like talk anymore. Do
you remember how big of a deal it was to analyze the things that people wrote in the back of your yearbook?
Like, it was a big deal.
Do you have physical yearbooks anymore? Or is it all digital? I don't know.
I think they must. They probably do.
They should, because that's a major part of growing up. Like
Hags.
What's Hags?
You didn't do yeah. I was gonna.
We didn't say that. It was more like, you're an amazing friend. See you next year.
Wait a second.
We didn't do Hags.
I would say 75% of the things in all of my yearbooks are just Hags, signed someone, Steve, signed Maddie, Michelle. It's just Hags. That was it, because everyone thought they were so cool with the acronym.
No, we wrote actual notes to each other.
Well, good friends, though. You're not just like randos. Your good friends wrote you notes, right?
We didn't have everyone in the whole school write a note.
Oh, see, we had most people. Yeah, we would go. I mean, not everyone, but anyone that you were remotely friendly with. Like, even if you said hi once in the hallway, here, sign my yearbook. And that would be the Hags thing. But like, I would have a group of like 10 friends that would actually write like a long thing. And I guess dudes and girls are probably different in that. But
wait,
but yeah.
What are you, like Melissa Joan Hart and Can't Hardly Wait? Like, sign my yearbook and going around getting all students in the class sign your yearbook?
Kinda, yeah. That's kind of what it was like. It sounds like, well, I mean, yeah, Melissa Joan Hart, sounds like you're in the minority here.
Well, no, but that was just the role she played and everyone pushed her away.
Yeah, if we open up my yearbook, certainly in high school, there are. So how many signatures do you think you have in your yearbook?
Okay, this is my senior.
I probably had hundreds.
Not one.
I'm super popular, no big deal.
I mean, I have no friends, I guess.
Well, or you were just more strict on the policy of who signs your yearbook and who doesn't. I find that very weird. I'm interested. Maybe I'm wrong. I let the Shelleys. I guess we should ask the Shelleys. Tell us like which of us is right, because I just always assumed. We would be in like math class and we'd just pass the yearbook around. People would sign it. Everyone would sign everyone else's yearbook.
I do not have one signature in my senior year yearbook.
Well, that's college. That's different though, right?
No, this is senior year of high school.
Oh, that's weird then.
One signature.
That's very weird. Did you also get your like senior picture headshots? Did you give those out to people too?
Oh yeah.
The
8x10 and then the small ones.
Well, the small ones are like the little card wallet ones. They were probably like, I don't know, 2x3 or whatever. Those things were weird.
Okay, one more thing. Did you have these where like your parents put up together a little montage?
Yeah, I don't remember if my parents did. I actually might have told them not to because that's just very me. But I do remember. Did you win any superlatives or no?
I did.
I was gonna say you definitely have superlatives. Could I guess?
I think we've revealed this before, but go ahead.
School spirit.
I came in second, I think, for that.
I was gonna say you would be okay. So it's another one.
It's another one, and I can show you. Also, by the way,
is it a normal one or is it like a weirdly specific one?
It's weirdly no, it's normal, but it's shocking if you know me. It's like
artsy, I don't know.
Most likely to get married.
Oh, that you know what? The irony there, because I could understand why high school people would think of high school Michelle was going to be a quick person to get married. I could see that. The Midwestern vibe. Yep, long-term boyfriend, 100%. That's funny. I honestly didn't get that, but I had dated someone for a long time in high school, and I probably could have gotten that as well. And look at us now. I mean, I am married, but I didn't get married soon. I got married when I was 30.
Let's see if I can find it. I know this is probably like terrible pod, but in the photo, I think he was like carrying me over the threshold.
Wow. So you both won that.
Yeah, it was like we won as a couple.
Oh wait, so you weren't class couple though. You were most.
There was no class couple.
What?
Yeah. Let me find this. Where are these things?
What? I was always offended because the girl I was dating in high school. This is not a brag alert, but it's almost like a diss alert for me. The girl I was dating in high school won best looking. But I didn't win best looking. So I didn't win anything. I wasn't cool enough to win anything. I was like, well, fuck you guys. Like, come on. Like, I can't win anything. And I just look like a dweeb over here sitting around doing nothing. So I did not win. But I also wasn't like, I don't know. What was like, I wasn't going to win like most likely to succeed. I mean, I was smart, but I wasn't that smart. I wasn't going to win like fun, class clown. I certainly wasn't that guy. There just weren't many things that I wasn't going to win like most athletic because there were dudes that were way more athletic than I was. So I guess I just didn't fit into any categories. I got to make one up.
Can I read you the categories for senior superlative?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Best hair, most school spirit, most likely to get married. That's what I won. $1 million smile, most likely to go multi-platinum. That was for singing abilities.
Okay.
Most likely to be a soap star, acting abilities.
Okay.
Biggest slacker, and one of my girlfriends won that.
I'm sure the parents are super proud about that one.
She has a great line. Most likely.
Wait, hold on. What do you know what she's doing now? Is she like super successful?
Yeah, she had a
That'd be amazing.
Career. She and her husband just built a great house. She recently just left work because she had her third baby.
Okay, so so take that superlative.
She's thriving.
Don't put me in a box.
Yeah, right.
Was she pumped about that? Like I don't even know if you should be pumped or offended by that.
I can't remember. I think she was like, what?
Yeah, I was going to say a surprising one. Oh, I won one. Which one did I win? Like laziest.
And, I'll have to talk to her about this because I don't remember her slacking off at all.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
That is a weird one.
Did people campaign in your school too? Like, did somebody want to win best looking or somebody want to win class couple or whatever? Because we had that. We had people that would go around and be like, yeah, vote for me.
Someone would go around and say, I want to win.
Vote for me. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then people would talk about it, like, who are you voting for? Oh my gosh, it's almost like class president, but like way less higher stakes, Yeah, for sure. So apparently we grew up in very different high school environments. Although you went to the all girls Catholic school, so it's a little different.
No, not all girls.
Oh, I thought you were all girls. I thought there was a girls and a boys school.
No, in St. Louis, there was a lot of girls and boys schools, but we don't play those games.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Nice. So you were normal.
No. So when I was in high school, I forget what year this was, but there was an incident with the like class president thing. So I'm going to like paraphrase this from what I remember, but someone, like a bunch of people ran. It was a very much like vote for Pedro situation.
Love it.
One girl who thought she was going to win did not win. And I believe her parents might've like demanded a recount. And then it was like, everyone was like co-president.
Wow. They were really ahead of the everyone gets a trophy kind of thing in at the Catholic school in St. Louis.
Yeah. It was just like,
that's a bummer. No, declare a winner. Like, grow up. What are we doing?
Yeah. I think there was another thing with like homecoming court where another mom demanded a recount that someone didn't get it. So
that's so lame. I don't remember. I don't remember this. Did you vote? Do you vote for homecoming king and queen? I don't remember voting.
We did.
I couldn't even tell you who they were. So it's super important, obviously.
I don't think it was very important, but I remember that this was an issue that a parent demanded a recount.
That's embarrassing too. I feel like the kid would be like, "Mom, leave me alone. I lost." Like, and the mom's like, "No, you are a winner. We are going to figure this out." And then they give everyone the thing, and it's like, "Well, now nobody wins. So are you happy now, Karen? Grow up."
Yeah, Karen pre Karen.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So those are the things. Can
Wow.
I read you quickly what my parents wrote me? And
Yeah.
Congratulations, Michelle. We hope that you will always have the passion for life that you have today. As long as you have your family, health, friends, and integrity, your life will be rich. You are a wonderful daughter, and we've been blessed to have you in our lives. There are no limits to what you can achieve. Good luck in college, and remember, you will always be our four-leaf clover. Love, Mom and Dad.
Wow, that's very nice. I mean,
I wouldn't
expect any less from Mr. and Mrs. Smallman.
I mean, how many tears do you think were shed at the table? Them trying to write that. I mean, like,
Yeah.
our baby's going to college.
Yeah, that was in pencil and then scribbled out and rewritten many, many, many times to get it perfect. But I get that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Okay, so per usual, we got off on a tangent.
Yep.
Here.
Our bad. Hope you enjoyed that.
So, Ruth, what's up with you?
Not much. What do we got? Delayed getting the Peloton. Don't have that yet. Hopefully have it in a couple of days. Excited for that.
Great.
I think it's getting hot as shit here in the Northeast, which is cool. We're finally able to go outside. Things are happening. It seems like COVID is like kind of over, depending on who you ask. I don't know.
Well, if you're asking me, it's over.
It is officially Shot Girl Summer. Yeah. I mean, what's really cool. One of the things that I didn't realize how much I missed fans in the stands or the stadiums for games. And now that we're getting it more in the NBA, we're getting it in soccer. It's just, there were, I think, a couple thousand people. I shouldn't say that. I think there were like 10,000 people at Stamford Bridge for the Chelsea-Leicester game. That was a huge game the other day that I was watching. And you could tell like it obviously wasn't as loud as normal, but it was so fucking awesome to hear like the actual crowd reactions, not like the fake noise where it's like on a 2-second delay and then the guy hits the button wrong when there's actually isn't a goal because it's offsides. When there's actual like heckling going on and booing and jeering and reactions to every slide tackle or every made basket or whatever, I'm sure in baseball too, it just hits different. I completely forgot how awesome it is. And I think, the end of this NBA season, but next season and then football coming back, it's going to be almost like a new awakening for everyone because we forgot how cool it was to have fans in the seats and how much better it made the experience even being at home. So I'm super pumped for that.
They just announced today that Busch Stadium is going full capacity.
Full. There you go.
Amazing. I'm going to my first game on Sunday. I'm so excited. Cards, Cubs, Sunday baseball.
Oh, big one. There we go.
Amazing. I can't wait. No, but you're so right. So the broadcaster for the Cardinals, Dan McLaughlin, Danny Mac, as we call him, he is on my show every Thursday and Friday, and then he does a show after Randy and my show. But he brought up a great point that we were all just kind of existing for this past year, like trying to get through sports and through everything the best way we could. Imagine 10 years from now when we look back on that season and we show highlights and there's cardboard cutouts.
Yep.
And there's piped in crowd noise or no noise at all. How weird it's going to look. I think we got a little bit conditioned to it over the past year.
We did.
As you mentioned, now that fans are back, it feels like so invigorating. But I just think the further away we get from this and the more we return to normalcy, when we look back on this, we're going to be like, what was that?
I know. I kind of want to go to like a Knicks playoff game too, but the tickets are absolutely insane because people obviously want to go. Like they haven't been able to go in a while. And I want to get out to some games, but here in the Northeast, it's a little bit more difficult. I mean, maybe I'll have to actually go to a baseball game because that's probably my only option at this point. Although I don't know. I think Yankee Stadium is maybe 25% capacity. I want to say they have fans, but it's definitely not full. I don't know what I think Fenway is going to be full. Maybe I'll go to Fenway.
You should go to Fenway. It's an easy drive. Have you?
Yeah. Oh, I've been to Fenway a million times. I've seen concerts at Fenway. I've seen baseball games. I've seen soccer games at Fenway. I saw Roma put Liverpool at Fenway. Shout out to Francesco Totti. I've seen him. Fenway is a great Fenway. Have you ever been to Fenway?
Yes, twice.
So, it's old and it's not, you got poles in your way, like literally depending on where you're sitting, but there are few places stadium wise that I've ever been to that match up to like, just like the aura of that place. Like you feel like you're sitting in a place like that's historic and because you are. I'm sure Wrigley's the same way. I haven't been to Wrigley. I mean, the old Yankee Stadium was kind of like that too. The new one is just it's just not the same. I think even Yankee fans will tell you it's not the same.
Yeah, I agree. So Fenway's like a cathedral. It's like a hallowed sports ground.
Yeah.
Wrigley has lost a lot of its charm because of the boom and commercialism there. They have the big scoreboard, the Starbucks right outside it now. It's still Wrigley, and Wrigleyville is still amazing, but it just feels very different than it used to.
The thing about that always confused me about Wrigley, and again, never been, so I'm probably wrong here, but Wrigley doesn't seem like it has many features to it. It's just kind of like a field, and the stands are pretty generic, whereas like Fenway's got the Green Monster and the freaking
ivy.
The ivy, okay, it's got the ivy, but the wall itself, like it looks kind of like a high school college stadium that's bigger, right? That is a professional stadium that's old and nice. So there's some history to it. But at Fenway, you've got obviously the Green Monster, and then in the center field, you've got like 420 and then it shoots all the way back to like 375. Like the freaking, the dimensions of the field are insane. It's awesome. And then they recently added seats on top by like the Coca-Cola signs in right field. Fenway just has like these nooks and crannies to it that are just unreal. Like you wouldn't build that stadium today. Like there's no way you would build that stadium because it doesn't make any sense. But that's also what makes it so cool is that it's old, but it's also really weird.
Well, Wrigley has the rooftops. That's a feature to it.
That's right. But those, again, aren't in the stadium, right? Those are just people. Do people live there? Are those apartments? What are they?
Yeah, they're apartments.
So how much more expensive are those than a normal like apartment?
So expensive. I've had friends who've lived there and they had to pay to get on their own roof.
No way. Oh, wait. Oh, so they don't get roof access. Oh, so you have to pay. No way. So not from your balcony. You have to go up to do the Cubs own that? How does that work?
You know what? I don't know if the Cubs own it. I don't know if the Cubs own it or if there's different people that own it. But like, I had friends who lived there and could never find a place to park on game days.
Oh my God, that would suck.
Pay to get up on their roof.
Wow. So people are just up on the roof getting hammered, watching the game, basically. That's pretty sick.
It's a great time.
Yeah, I don't think you can do that at Fenway. That'd be pretty wild.
You cannot have a bad time in the bleachers at Wrigley. Can't.
Yeah, we were there obviously in July a couple of Julys ago, and I need to get back just to go to a game, even though like, again, not a huge baseball guy. I think this is well documented, but I would want to see a Cubs game at Wrigley. That's like a bucket list sports thing for me, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, next time you're in Chicago, you should go for Cards Cubs. I mean,
let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah, a rivalry game.
Yeah, I'd do it.
Okay, well, speaking of Yankee Stadium and the Knicks in New York, I was in New York over the weekend.
Ooh. Yes, this is your home. This is really your natural habitat. Like you're from St. Louis, but you're home in New York City. You're a city girl.
I posted on Instagram. She's back.
She's back. Yes.
It was amazing. So they announced the lifting of, the mask mandate right as I was getting to New York.
What does that mean really quick too? So basically you don't have, you can be, is that indoor, outdoor? What was it like?
Well, it depended on, everywhere is different based on the rules of the state and or the city. So in New York, everyone outside, well, mostly everybody maskless. When you went to a restaurant, still had to wear it in and out, but everybody was just kind of like, we're
laissez-faire. Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
And it just felt like the city was ready to explode. Everyone was out. Everywhere was packed.
NYC's back.
And she's back. Not only Michelle, the city. She's back. It was just such a great vibe, and I missed it so much. It was so fun to be there. I was like, so for instance, we go to Brooklyn for dinner on Saturday. We go to this place called Freehold, I think it's called. Very fun. It's like one of those places where there's a front bar, or you go through a door, there's like a back bar, and it's like a
Love
DJ.
Layers. Love a good layered bar. Yep.
It's onions. It's very fun. So we go back there, and within 20 minutes, almost every table in there was ripping shots. People were dancing on tables. It is going to be an outrageous summer. Outrageous. People are ready to just let go.
Yeah, I don't blame them. I mean, it's seemingly safe now. So go ahead and knock yourself out. That's why when people are like, oh, the city, specifically New York, like, it's going to take years to come back. I just thought it was always like, people are going to miss that vibe. Yeah, it's cool to like live outside in the burbs, right? Have some more space and whatever. It's cool when you have to quarantine, you can't really go to a restaurant without a mask and it's not the same. But as soon as things are back to normal and the same, people are going to miss the stuff that they missed in the city before, including you. And as long as you feel safe doing it, like go out and have a good time. So I feel like the city's going to actually bounce back way quicker than a lot of people. People are talking about like, oh, it's going to be back in like 5 years. I don't know about that. I feel like this summer and then once next summer hits, like we're good to go, man. We're fine.
In my humble opinion, it's already back.
It's back. Yeah. Well, I know for a fact, like my sister lives in, I always forget I'm so bad with these, like where like the parts of town are. She lives not like in the Lower East Side, like
East Village,
maybe East or West Village. Is West Village a thing?
Yeah.
Maybe the West Village. I think that sounds about right.
West Village is so cute.
Yeah. And it's like usually like a pretty nice place, like, and it's expensive. And she was able to get in like months ago because people had left, right? And it wasn't, people were just trying to find people to take their rooms. So she was able to get in, but I feel like that's like now it's going to be open season. People are going to be paying ridiculous prices to get back in. And that's just how it is. It's always going to be.
Well, one thing that's going to happen this summer, Steve, is people are going to be dating. People are going to be kissing. They're going to be hooking up, and there's going to be a lot of bad dates. So what we're going to do this week, is we're going to do a little 10,000 frogs.
Yes.
Summer explosion. We're going to do some 10,000 frogs. And we're going to bring in our friend Marvin Prince. You remember him, of course. I think the last time Marv came on was the 100th episode, right? Episode 100. I think we did 10,000 frogs with him then.
We did. Yeah.
And he was great. People loved him. Marv is married. He has a kid, Bubs. And so he brings a different dynamic. I am not married. Steve is married. Marv is married with a kid. So we have a bunch of different perspectives here, and we need him to come on to not only provide his perspective, but to like be the judge here and give a ruling.
100%. I also want to ask him about DMB because that's been a big topic of conversation on the show recently. So we'll do that too.
Okay, sounds good. Marv coming up next. All right, well, we're welcoming in our friend, you know him formerly of ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, and of course now from the Dan Patrick Show, Marvin Prince. Marv is with us. What's up, Marv?
Small Ceruti, what's going on?
Prince Marv, what's going on, dude? Pumped to have you as always. What's new? What's going on? Still, obviously working on the DP show. What's up? What else we got going on?
Yeah, nothing. Just trying to raise a human with my genetics. I feel bad for Earth.
Is he like you? Is he more like you or your wife?
Oh, he's very much like me. Like everything worked out the way I wanted it to. Like he looks like my wife, but he acts like me.
Nice.
I was like, oh yeah, that's exactly. She's the complete opposite of me. Both of you guys know me. I am loud. I am obnoxious. I am the life of the party. Mm-hmm. She is not. She is the complete opposite. She was fun at our wedding only because I'm pretty sure she was on one.
That's what you got to be. Listen, I kind of side with your wife on that. Like, I'm not probably like the most extroverted person. So like weddings for someone like that are tough. You just got to drink. You got to because you have to talk to about 1,000 people. So if you're not used to doing that, it's actually pretty overwhelming. So I would be with her on that. Don't feel shame in that.
All right, cool.
Well, Marv, now that we have you here, and we could have you do this with basically everything that Steve and I debate, but since you do have a kid, I specifically want you to weigh in on this. I know that you listened to the pod, so you heard us talk last week. Ceruti is concerned that he may be the first of his core friend group to have a kid. But as someone with a kid, did that impact you at all from a friend standpoint once you had your son?
No, not at all. Like, here's the thing, Ceruti. When you have a kid and you're the first person, that kid is everybody's kid. They're Uncle so-and-so and Auntie so-and-so. And like, it's one of those things where like they'll get super amped, to see the kid and hang out, and like it's a little you. And so like, especially like friends from, when you were young and now seeing you have a kid, like, trust me, it's not going to be, obviously things are going to be different, but not for the worse.
Do you feel like you've transitioned into like Marv dad mode? Like, what is the transition to being like, do you feel like a dad? Does that light switch ever go on where you're like, wow, I'm wearing like New Balances now and like I'm walking around mowing the lawn and shit? I don't like, is there ever a light that goes on, or is that just like a gradual process?
One, I'm never wearing the Steph Curry nursing shoes.
You're not wearing the Air Monarchs, dude?
Or driving a minivan, the Air Monarchs are ridiculous, or anything like that. But like, you know what it is? When you become a parent, like me and my wife, it is hard for us to be Marvin and Jillian. Mm-hmm. We're not that anymore. Mm-hmm. We're Lorenzo's parents.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So that can be one of those things where your identity is attached to this little person, because trust me, when you have a kid, Ceruti, how's it going? How's your son? How's your daughter? Mm-hmm. I mean,
I'm good, thanks. Yeah.
I have type 10 diabetes, but
everything's going great.
The baby's great, thanks.
Yeah.
So, like Lorenzo is thriving.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, well, Marv, now that you are a dad, I need you to go back to your days in the streets. Like when you belonged to the streets and you were dating, this is the cap that I need you to wear now, because it's time for 1,000 frogs.
Dating is really, really hard.
So listen, I want to ask you something. Can I get your number?
But don't worry, listeners. You have to kiss 10,000 frogs before you find the one.
Can I have your phone number? Can I have it? Will you give me your number? Can I have it? Can I have your number?
Let's get through this together.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Small Talk presents 10,000 Frogs.
Okay, so the last time we had you on, I believe we had some terrible dates, but Cardio Frog, the cardiophile frog, still reigns king. He is the king frog on the throne right now. For those who might be new to the pod or who are just checking in, this was a date that a young lady went on, and the guy revealed that he was into heartbeats. He was a cardiophile, and he wanted to listen to her heartbeat with a stethoscope that he brought to the date as they were hooking up. And then things escalated, and he asked her to fake a heart attack. And then after they were done, he judged her acting skills.
Yeah, she wasn't good enough for him. Like the acting she wasn't really dead enough for him, which is really the icing. All of it's fucking insane. But the end of being like, you know what, you could have played dead a little bit better. That is the best part of the story.
The fact that this is still tops is ridiculous. Because I remember when you guys told me this, and I was like, this faking the heart attack thing is wild. I don't know if anything can beat this, but man, let's give it a shot. That's ridiculous.
Ridiculous. And again, these are actual accounts. These are all true stories, bad dates. All right, here is Cardio Frog's first contender. Hey, Michelle and Ceruti, I love 10,000 Frogs, and I think I have a story worthy of the crown. A few years ago, I moved to a small town in Indiana for work. As you can imagine, it's really hard to meet people, especially when you're a 28-year-old female from Florida. I had no friends, no family there, and no social circle at all. I tried to connect with people at work, but they were much older than me and all married with kids. It was a really tough time, and I was really lonely. I tried a bunch of different avenues to meet people. I joined a gym, I signed up for a pottery class, and I started attending a church. Through that church, I started volunteering, and there was a guy that I met that caught my eye. I tried to find out when he would be volunteering and sync up our shifts. I know it sounds creepy, but whatever, it worked. Every time I was around him, we spent the entire session chatting, and I felt like there was a spark. After weeks of mildly flirting, he finally asked me out, and our first date was amazing. I really got to know him on a deeper level, and I started to get excited about the possibility of this relationship growing. He asked me on a second date. He wanted to cook me dinner at his place. Great, or so I thought.
Good move.
I arrived at his place with a bottle of wine, and I was dressed to the nines. I ring the doorbell, and his mother answers the door. It turns out he not only lived with his mom, but he wanted her to vet me before things moved further. She spent the entire evening drilling me with questions. How often do you go to church? Are you a virgin? How many kids do you plan on having? It was the absolute worst date of my life. I left there in tears, and I sent him a text the next day telling him I thought we were better off as friends. He didn't take to that well, said I was a bad person for meeting his mother and then ending things so quickly. The cherry on the top was that it was a small town, and I constantly ran into him when I was out or at church. Thankfully, I moved to the West Coast a year later, but I'll never forget that date.
It's a little glimpse of what it's like life in Indiana, huh? What's up? No, we love Indiana. It's a joke. Don't worry about it.
Shout out Indiana.
Marv, go ahead. I'm going to let you take the reins. I have a lot of things to say, but I want to hear what you have to say.
All right. For one, those questions are so personal, and I don't want somebody's mother asking me those questions. And it's the second date.
Yeah.
And also, like, if you live with your parents, that's maybe something you should let the other person know. Because you don't want, Miss Jones to come downstairs like, oh, hey, like, damn, what's this?
Quiet down,
my
your
roommate.
kids.
Nah,
yeah.
It ain't your roommate, it's your mom.
Or it is your roommate and it's your mom.
Yeah, right.
Right.
And so it is crazy. That is a crazy story, especially in a small town where I'm sure, like she said, she ran into him all the time. But the mother asking questions, I think, you know what? I think it would have been okay if mom would have went upstairs, crocheted.
Would it have been, though? Here's the thing, Mark.
it would have been better than
having her vet you. Yeah, right. No, that's true. But I think the problem is the surprise. Like, you didn't tell this girl that you lived at home, which is like a pretty big. It's not a deal breaker, but it's like a pretty. You have some explaining to do there. Like, you can't just drop that on someone without any prior conversation. I would even say, the idea that you invited her over on the second date to do that is batshit. Now, I would say, 3-4 dates you get in and you say, hey, listen, but again, you haven't been to each other's apartment. This is like 3rd, 4th date and you're at a restaurant, you're at a bar, whatever. And you say, hey, I got to tell you, I live at home. I live with my mom. Here's why, whatever you want to say. But you can't drop it on someone unexpected when they don't even know that you're going to meet their parents. Like, meeting someone's parents is a big deal. And you can't just drop that on them without them knowing. And then for the mom to be like, hey, what's your sex life like? Now, there's some religious stuff in there, obviously, that is probably coming into this, I would say. But I'm also, for all that is absolutely crazy. She is 100% the right to be upset. I would have probably been really offended by that as well and wouldn't want to talk to this person again. But it's good that you found this out on date 2 and not maybe like date 5 or 10 that they surprised you with. But I'm also interested in this person moving from Florida to Indiana and then a year later moving to the West Coast. Like, what's going on here? I'm just interested in that as well. We won't know, but I don't know.
Okay. Question for both of you, because you're right. Meeting the parents is a big deal. And normally you make sure that this person is someone that you want to have around for a while before you introduce them to the family. When do you think is the appropriate time? Is it a feeling? Do you think it's after a couple months? Do you think it's if you're calling each other boyfriend, girlfriend, or this is my significant other, I should say? What do you think is the right time? I'm sure it varies for everyone, but maybe he knew her. And listen, as someone from the Midwest, sometimes things in a small town in the Midwest tend to move quickly. And maybe he thought, we're 28. This is in the Midwest. We know each other. We met through church.
Yeah, but
it's only natural that she meets my mom. And
no, but you're not wrong.
Side note, this guy did not cook the dinner. The mom cooked the dinner. That's
true.
I want to guarantee that.
Really quick, because I actually want to hear how you did this, Marv, like when you were introduced to the parents and vice versa. But Michelle, I think you're sort of missing something. You still need to give this person the heads up, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
At the end of the day, like even date 2, like if you have a really great first date, it wouldn't be weird to you if someone was like, hey, why don't you meet my parents? Even if it was like totally like a normal thing to like, hey, we're going to go on dinner with my parents. That seems really soon to me. Marv, what was your experience?
So, man, we were probably like 5 months in. And also I was away at college.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a whole different situation, but it was like maybe like during like the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And, all come to, like a family gathering.
That's a safe space.
Yeah.
A lot of people to talk to. It's not like a one-on-one situation. That's key. Usually the one-on-one is really intense. You bring them to, that's like a barbecue or something. That's a good call by you.
Yep. So, and she already knew, like, I had a couple of friends there. She knew a couple of family members. She knew. So
soft landing.
It really worked out. It wasn't that one-on-one, real awkward, feeling each other out and, things like that. But it was that was probably to me, that's where you should probably always try some type of, not one-on-one situation, but, like a gathering and something like that, where it's not, grilling you about your sex life.
Yeah, that should never be that. I mean, that should really never come up in a conversation with parents, ever. Doesn't matter if it's the first date or the 100th date. That seems like it's a no-fly zone for me. That hasn't come up with my own parents. No, exactly. I wouldn't even want. Yeah, no.
Until my son was born.
And even then,
you were a virgin until your son was born. There you go.
God didn't know.
Yeah.
Even then, it was the Immaculate Conception, right?
It sure
The Lord blessed you.
Yo, this shit's crazy. You won't believe this.
I don't even know what happened. She's just a child. It's bizarre.
We've been blessed. We've been blessed.
I have to tell you guys though, I one time went out on a date with a guy, and it was a fine first date. And then later, he texted me like a day later and was like, "You should come meet up. I'm out for drinks."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Oh, great." And he's like, "I'm with my sister and her husband." And I was like, "I'm not coming up to meet your sister and her husband."
Mm-mm.
And then shortly after that, he was at a sporting event that I was also at. And he was like, "Yeah, my dad and I are in this suite. Come hang." And I was like, "I'm also
nope,
not going to do that." But he gave me the heads up. But I think some people do feel like it's incredibly natural to involve their families very early.
I was gonna say, I think it depends. Age is a factor here, right? If you're in your like late 30s maybe, and you're still single and you're kind of trying to move things along, and I get introducing the parents a little bit sooner than you normally would. Like Marv, you're in high school. Like, there's no reason if you're in high school or even college or even early 20s to be introducing your significant other to your parents, even if you think it's going really well. What's the upside there? Like, live your life, do your thing. The only time I think it should be sort of sped up is if you're sort of later on in life and you're looking to like really settle down and you want to make sure that this person's also as serious as you are. But it doesn't sound like this is the situation here.
Okay, so that is Mom Frog.
All right, number one. Not a good one. I mean, a good starter one, but again, I think it's good that she found the deal out early and then she ended up moving to the West Coast. So she's fine.
I think she probably thought to herself, I am not going to be able to live the life I want to live here. So let's just move it on west.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Go west, son. Yep, there you go.
5 goes west. Okay, next one. Hey, Ceruti, Michelle, I have to tell you about this awful first date I went on. This guy, we'll call him John, and I met up on an app. The plan was for us to meet for drinks and then head to dinner. I showed up at the designated spot for happy hour. No John. He arrived 20 minutes later and he was high as a kite. I'm talking can't form sentences high. Shortly after that, the paranoia kicked in and he told me he thought the feds were at the next table. I excused myself. I went to the bathroom. I paid the bill and left. Some of my friends thought I was rude to leave him there in that state, but IDGAF, I owe this guy nothing. I'm also curious on your take there. Anyway, that's my 10,000 frog submission. Love the pod.
Okay. Marv, thoughts?
Stoned frog.
Nah, Ceruti, you go ahead. I'm trying to still
all right
together.
I would say first off, you are not in the wrong for bailing and ghosting on that date. Not in the wrong at all. Especially like this all depends. Like, I'm assuming we're talking about like weed, right? Where just this person was high. Like, I don't know, high on what? That also depends. Like if it's like PCP or something, I don't know. Like, I mean, that's a bigger problem. If this person was just smoking a bunch of weed and they were high, and that's not your thing, then I don't blame you for being like, well, why did you show up blasted out of your mind? And I'm not even into that. Like, there's no point. I'm just going to leave. We're going to go our separate ways. Like, good luck to you. But like, exactly. You don't owe them anything. So it's fine for you leaving. I don't have a problem with that at all. But I also think it could have been kind of fun to stick around and just like fuck with this person a little bit and be like, yeah, the feds are after you. Like, holy shit, we got to get out of here, and like make it some bigger thing. Cause it could be kind of worth your while in a way, even if you don't have any interest in the future, and like maybe get your friends involved and be like, hey, I'm going to hide you in my friend's apartment or something. The feds are on our tail. We got to get in the car. I think there could have been some sort of like fun thing for you to do to at least get some enjoyment out of this. Otherwise, being around someone who's super high or super drunk and you're sober is probably one of the worst things that you can. It's awful. It's an awful experience. So that would be my take, but I guess there's really no harm there. It just, you did what you did, and I think it's totally okay.
Yeah. I was struggling with thoughts because I had the same exact question you did. High on what?
Yeah.
And so, high on weed, and if it's not something you do, and also, like, if they do this and they're really paranoid, man, you're looking into your future of when they do this and they're paranoid. Like, I don't have time to deal with your random paranoia about the Fed. No, you know what? The feds are here. J. Edgar Hoover's outside. He's right outside.
Going in the sky.
I just saw him. You see? Look at him. So, no issue with her bailing. I probably would have done the same thing, especially if that's not your thing.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely not. And who thought he thought it was just a good idea to get high and just hang out on a date? Nah.
You know what I think it might have been, and I don't know this scenario at all, but sometimes people might be nervous, so they have a drink before to take the edge off. Maybe our man here just dabbled in the devil's lettuce. He was like, I'm just going to, relax a little.
Yeah.
He overdid it. He arrives there, the extra, you know how they say, it's always that situation where it's like, I'm only going to take half the edible. And then you're like, well, it hasn't kicked in. I feel nothing. And then you take the other half and then it doubly hits later. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
I think maybe I'm speculating here, but maybe he took a little bit to take the edge off. And then he's like, I'm not feeling anything. Take the other part. And then it all kicked in. And the next thing you know, he thinks he looks fresh as hell with the feds watching. I don't know.
Yeah. That's all well and fine, but he fucked up. So like she owes him nothing. I'd be interested to know if she heard from him after that, or if they both just kind of went their separate ways and he was like, yeah, I fucked up. I should just kind of take this one as an L and move on.
He might have gotten arrested. Maybe he's in jail. The feds did get
Maybe the feds were at. Maybe he actually maybe something was going on. Maybe he was like a drug dealer and there was like some big thing. He was like a kingpin and they were chasing after him. I don't know. Who knows? We'll never know.
So what do you think is worse, High Frog or Mom Frog?
Mom Frog.
It's got to be Mom Frog. Yeah. Because the High Frog it's not even, it's like kind of harmless, you know? It's like, you know, I don't think it's that big of a deal. You laugh, you didn't waste a lot of your time. There's like some trauma to the mom one. That's kind of fucked up. That could fuck you up for a little bit.
Okay, now the major question. Do you think Mom Frog is worse than Cardio Frog?
I would say no chance. No chance.
Marv?
Nah. Cardio Frog is just the creme de la creme.
I didn't think anything could beat Crack Frog, and then Cardio Frog arrived.
I still think Crack Frog might like that was like a split decision that went the wrong way in a boxing match, and like half, you know, probably there may be some, you know, I don't know, some gambling on that went awry, but I do feel like Cardio Frog was still messed up, and they're similar things, right? They're both sort of people who have problems, right? There's an issue. Like it's being a cardiophile, you're not really a normal person, right? You know, that's something that you kind of got to work out on your own.
You're into what you're into.
No, I know that, but like, let's not pretend like this is a normal thing. And in the same way that bringing this girl home on a second date to your mom, who also you live with, who's asking you about your sex life, is also not a normal thing. Do you, if that's what makes you happy, as we said, but they're both kind of in the same category. But I just think the cardiophile thing is so much more wild that I don't know, Michelle, do you think there'd be more trauma in someone's mom on the second date asking you about your sex life, or someone who asked you to play dead while you guys were having sex? Like that's
serious. I can handle a parent. I don't want to be in a romantic situation with someone that is fantasizing that I'm dead.
So then that's your answer. There's your answer.
Watch a lot of, and when I think about Cardio Frog, you have to carry a stethoscope with you.
Yeah.
It's a date.
It's calculated.
Keys, wallet, cell phone, watch, stethoscope. Like these are not things that should go together.
Yeah. Again, do you, whatever makes you happy, but not going to be for a lot of people. So I think that is still the reigning champ. I don't think it's going to take something monumental to knock that one off the top spot.
That is just so good. And I mean that in just the worst way.
Yeah.
That is just awful. Like, oh my gosh.
I heard.
Let me bring my stethoscope. Oh, yeah. I smell good. Oh, my hair's looking right. Stethoscope. Let's go.
Yeah.
That feel cold on your chest, hun? Metal. Does he warm it with his hand before he puts it on your skin?
But you're dead, so it should be cold. There you go.
No.
Yeah.
No,
there you go. There you go.
I should have submitted this, but I heard a story over the weekend about someone that was talking to someone and later found out that this person had a thriving side hustle where they posted feet pics. And strangers.
Whoa, that's a bummer. Okay, that's a real big bummer.
I guess I should have submitted that, like Foot Frog, but I don't know if it really counts because I don't know if they went on many dates.
Right.
They were just talking.
And this person revealed to them, I guess they were kind of like testing the waters, and we're like, yeah, you know, people have been doing a lot of things during the pandemic to make some cash. And this person was like, yeah, totally. Like, it's been rough for a lot of people. And then it was revealed that this person made, I think, an OnlyFans with feet pics and also feet videos. And people reach out to them and will Venmo them. And then they send over some pics and vids of their feet. Because this gentleman has, I guess, a size 16 foot, which is highly coveted in the foot world, I guess.
Wow.
Didn't know.
I didn't know that dude feet were a thing. I always thought it was, listen, it's 2021. I get it, get it right. But I didn't know that dude feet were in demand. It just feels like women are a little bit more like evolved in that, not as like weird as dudes are.
Other dudes asking for the dude's feet.
Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. That makes a little more sense then.
But mostly dudes.
Wow. I mean, I guess, listen, 16 is, I mean, I don't know anybody. 16 is like Shaq size. What is Shaq size? Do you remember?
17, I think.
Yeah. So we're talking like that's rare air. That's like top 1% of human beings. If you get a size 16 foot pick, like that's probably worth a ton of money.
Can I tell you one more aspect of this?
Yeah.
So this person revealed that so this is all like secondhand, by the way, that some guy reached out to the foot guy on Facebook, of all places.
Of course. That makes out. That checks out.
Size 16, I hear. And he was like, I do. Here's the cost or whatever. And the guy kept messaging, just like, hey, what's up? How you doing? And he responded and said, every message that you send me that I don't receive a Venmo request, the price goes up $150.
Oh, wow. He's not fucking around. I respect that. Businessman.
And so the person who was chatting with them was like, that I kind of respect.
Yeah.
You know, the whole thing is a little different for me, but I respect the force.
I just love the black market underground foot pick trade that's going on that we don't even know about. Like there's so much shit that we don't even understand or comprehend on the internet, or like what a lot of it's going on Facebook, I'd imagine, because that shit's weird as fuck. That would have been something I would have never known, but it actually makes a ton of sense.
But do you really know anybody like with the internet?
No.
Do you really even like if you both are married? I bet there's things that your wives Google that would shock you. You'd be like, you Googled this?
Yeah, and I think, I'm not going to speak for you, Marv, but I kind of think it's okay. Like these couples are like, we know everything about each other. You don't want to know everything about each other. You don't want to know everything about anyone. There's things that should be private for a reason. Like Michelle, we talked about this with, wasn't it search history? We talked about search history at some point on the show. And I'm like, I would never want anyone to see my search history. Not even that I'm like that weird or kinky or anything, but like, that is probably as personal as it gets. If you get access to someone's search history, you can know everything weird about them in basically like a minute.
I'm with you completely. Hey, stay off my search history.
Yeah.
All right.
That's why you got to clear it, dude.
Oh,
Marv knows.
King, you always got to clear it. I don't know somebody who doesn't clear it, but also off the record, like, look, because sometimes you don't know what your significant other, like, Spanish guys.
Sometimes.
Wait, let me ask you guys a question. How often are you clearing the search history? Because I'm single, I don't have to clear.
Swag.
Well, I'm not married. I don't have to clear.
Right, but still swag.
I would say anytime there's a risky search, just make sure you clear it after, you know?
But is that always in the back of your mind?
Clear 24 hours.
24, okay.
Yeah, just to be safe.
I'm with Ceruti. Because a lot of times, like, you know, my wife's phone is charging. Hey, can I borrow yours? I got to look something up. Oh, wait.
Real quick. Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, I got to go to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah, let me just do this real quick. What's that? But that's even more suspicious because then you know some shit's going on. They're going to start snooping around your phone. But again, I don't want to know. This is what social media has done to us too, though. It's like we know too much about each other. We just do, right? And that's why I think there's so much, like, especially online, there's so much divide, is because we didn't know every little thing about every person until like a couple of years ago. Yeah. And that's like, it's not healthy to know all this shit about random people. It's not even healthy to know about your significant other all the time. There's things that should remain private. Michelle, you'll be about that life pretty soon.
Oh,
what about the clear life?
Having to clear your search history. If you gave me your phone right now, you told me you would be totally cool with me just like searching and seeing what you've looked up. You would be totally fine with that.
Yes.
You are a unicorn.
There is like nothing
for sure
that I think you would find on my phone that you would be appalled by.
No text with your friends, no group chat.
Text,
that's what I'm saying. That counts.
Okay.
That still counts.
You cannot see.
Thank you.
But the search history, go for it.
That includes
you're gonna find like the Cardinals schedule. You're going to find like best restaurants, New York City.
Yeah.
These are the things you'll find in my search history. But like, well, the text.
Next season's Louboutins. I get it.
Yeah.
But
wait, say that again, like, Steve? The what?
Louboutins. Did you know, Marv? I used to think Louboutins were pronounced Louboutins. I don't know why. For the longest time. I've never even seen a pair of
when Biggie had the Versace shirts.
Yes,
no, that's Versace, genius.
Well, no, yeah, that's the Kanye lyric, right? Past that,
yeah,
Versace, right? Yeah. There you go.
Okay, but Donatella did a thing with Vogue, and she says her number one pet peeve is Americans calling it Versace, that it's Versace.
Oh,
that's a very Italian thing.
Versace. Okay.
Yeah.
But also like when sorry to go off on it, but when somebody like, oh, look at the picture of my son, and they start like swiping.
No. Hey, yeah.
Stay up.
Rude.
No.
Don't do that.
Yeah, you might come across something that'll ruin your day.
Yes. No, thank you.
Do you let your wife swipe?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Because right.
For sure.
I don't have this, but I know it's a thing.
Screenshotting things, guys. I don't know.
No, you're not screenshotting stuff on your phone. No. But I'll say
if you're clearing search history, you're not giving it the old screenshot.
Yeah, no, that's a noob move. I mean, that's not a move.
You new to this. Like if you like leave up like screen and I'm not even. You know what I'm screenshotting? Like funny like memes and
totally
stuff like that.
Yeah, my screenshots are all stupid.
Oh, all of them. All of mine.
What was I gonna say?
I don't like recipes. I'm like, ooh, brownie.
Yeah.
No, legit.
That makes me think of though. I don't use this, but I think Michelle, have we talked about this? How you could have sort of private or they're I think photo albums, right? Where with private photos that you need a password to get into or like your face lock to get into. You could have that literally on your phone so that your significant other can't see shit. Yep. In your photos, there's like you can have private folders that have their password protected that your significant other, assuming they don't know your password, can't get into, which is wild. Which I would still not feel comfortable doing. Somehow I think that would get hacked. I don't keep shit. You shouldn't keep shit on your phone ever. Anything, credit card information, weird pictures, anything that's going to be either valuable or embarrassing to you, get that off your phone.
100%. Nah, I'm about to be like Kevin Gates. I got 2 phones.
You're Paul Pierce in it. Michelle had not seen that picture until last week. It's one of my favorite pictures of all time. Paul Pierce 2 phones at the All-Star game. It's unbelievable. Anyway.
Paul Pierce has become a legend for other reasons also.
Yeah.
I was going to say Paul Pierce should have not had the 2 phones at the party. I'm wondering, did Monica ever show up? Did Monica come through? From the Paul Pierce Instagram Live. That's everyone watching. And they're like, oh, Paul Pierce, the ladies twerking in the back. I'm like, but did Monica come through? He was like, yo, Monica.
I think the best part of that video was when he kept calling turkeys plural. Oh, I've been to Turkeys. That was the best. That was so good. Oh, she's from Turkeys. I've been to Turkeys. It's so good. Not worried about Paul Pierce. Anyway. All right.
I know you have something for Marv before we wrap it up.
Yeah, real quick. Marv, do you listen to last week's episode? Do you listen to the guy eviscerate me about DMB, Dave Matthews Band?
I did.
I'm interested in do you have any black friends that listen to Dave Matthews Band? Do black people listen to DMB at all? Because I feel like you go to their concerts and it's just a sea of white dudes, right? White dudes, cargo shorts. This is what's in my mind. And I was thinking before I have you on, I don't know, is that because I think one of their main guys is I think it's the drummer or the bass player. I think is a black dude. So I didn't know if he was Dave Matthews was cool in that circle. I don't know.
But the crazy thing is the drummer, the violin player, don't they have a couple of black guys in their band?
I know. I'm pretty sure they at least have one. He's the guy with dreads, right? I think.
You know what, Marv? I like Dave. I've been to several Dave shows. I can't tell you one person in the band outside of Dave.
Yeah.
All right. So do black people
know.
Can you name how many Dave songs could you name?
I can name Crash.
Nice. Radio Jam.
Yup. That was on Kiss 95.7.
Yep.
Shout out.
Yup. And oh my God. It starts out with the drum beat. Ants Marching?
Oh, yeah, which is probably the most annoying of all Dave's songs.
I love Ants Marching.
It's so funny because you're probably a real fan and I am just so general. That's almost all right, I'm a big Jay-Z fan and somebody says, oh, what's your favorite Jay-Z song? 99 Problems.
Yeah.
No, it's the 99th best song of his. And I was like, no, thank you. So I empathize with you about Ants Marching, but it is the song I know. When I was in high school, every single summer without fail, they would just say one word. Are you going to Dave?
Yep. Have you haven't been to Dave though, right? You've never been to Dave,
no,
sir. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
But you know the
And
deal.
Yeah, for sure. You already know what it is. And so, like, I grew up in East Hartford, Connecticut. When I was in high school, crazy diverse, right? Plenty of Black kids, plenty of white kids, plenty of Puerto Rican kids. So, like, the white kids, and you know what? Sometimes it depends on, like, where you live. Like, all right, like, all my friends listen to Dave. So I knew a couple of Black dudes that really liked Dave Matthews. And so I was like, all right, cool. But everyone else.
But you're not putting that on at a party.
No.
And you're not. I can't vibe to Dave. I just can't. I know people can. And I can't. I don't know. I'm sorry.
I knew people that went to Dave to just go get fucked up.
Yeah. Basically be that guy popping an edible and hanging out and thinking he's paranoid.
For sure. They go to the Red Roof Inn right next to the Meadows. You know about that Red Roof Inn.
Great spot. Yep.
Yes.
Gold Rock. You go to the Gold Rock Cafe. Yep. Late night.
Those concerts at the Meadows, no matter what concert it was, everything popped off after Red Roof Inn.
Yep.
All down that street right near the car dealerships. It's a Connecticut thing.
Yeah.
Small.
Michelle wasn't here enough. She wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Michelle, this is my biggest regret is we didn't show Michelle the good parts of Connecticut while she was here. And now she hates it and she won't come back. Well,
I don't hate it.
Dislike. There you go.
Marv did take me out one night. We went to Plan B. We had a good time.
In West Hartford?
Remember that? That was a good time.
Yeah. Plan B was fun.
You, me, Ben Barry. I don't remember who else was there, but hey. But again, it's a burger place, and we turned up at a burger place.
I was gonna say, it couldn't have gotten that wild, but yeah.
It was pretty fun. There was like some sort of a dance party environment going on there.
Mm.
Yeah, there's always a DJ at Plan B. Random, I know, but
all right, Marv, you are the best. Thanks for jumping on, and thanks for judging these terrible dates with us. We always appreciate your sage wisdom.
Yeah, not a problem. All love. I'm gonna see y'all soon.
Prince Marv, thanks, dude.
All right,
Ceruti, Cardio Frog, still at the top of the mountain. Still
undefeated, never lost. It's gonna be a tough one to top. I still think Crack Frog got like an unfair judgment there, but both of those, I don't know. It's gonna take something wild to beat those.
I also feel like I shouldn't have revealed the foot story, and I should have had that person submit it because that's a pretty wild story.
It is. It is, but I still don't think it actually probably would have beat both of the stories we had today, but I still don't think it doesn't beat it doesn't beat unless there was some super weird foot fetish stuff going on there where I don't even want to get into it. But like the fact that the cardio file involved this like specific sex act and then not being good enough at being dead. There's just like, what is going to top? Like, we couldn't even make up a story that would top that. So you're right about the shoe thing, though. That is wild. And I would have never thought, but how many people in the world have a size 16? Probably not that many. Probably pretty valuable.
And, the person that was sharing that story with me did not reveal if this person was lucrative, like if they were earning a great amount on the side hustle. But I respect someone with an entrepreneurial spirit.
If you have like a weird feature or something very unique about you, I feel like you could just start up an OnlyFans and make a good amount of money. Am I like ridiculous for saying that? Like, I'm too boring of a person. There's nothing like unique about me that would be like, oh, let me get an OnlyFans. I'm also not a hot girl for the most part. Although, there probably is some other markets out there for different people. But I think if you could probably make a lot more money than we would ever imagine just having an OnlyFans account.
Yeah, like a size 16 foot is a rare thing.
Yeah. Like, what do you do? Do you have to like do weird shit with your feet on your OnlyFans? Like, what do you do?
I didn't ask.
You just wear like various shoes. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Because I would never want someone to see my face. It would just be all fit, it would just be just the feet stuff. But
I remember there was a Sex and the City episode where she went on to Charlotte, was trying on shoes, and she realized the salesperson had a foot fetish and he was giving her shoes for free just so he could like rub her feet and have her try on shoes.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. She eventually gave them back because she was like, I can't do this. But I think it's different for every person. Some person probably wants a barefoot. Some wants to see them in shoes. I would imagine there's somebody out there that loves socks. I don't really know.
I used to work with a guy who had a foot fetish. True story.
Wow. How did that come up in casual work?
It didn't really come up. It was just known based on it was known before I got there. And it was confirmed by his actions. He wasn't like overly forward being like, hey, can I get a picture of your feet? But like he would just stare. It would be uncomfortable, pretty obviously. And this was the first time I'd ever like really been introduced to that. It was very strange.
Wow. I wonder how everyone found out. Did he put it on his resume?
I think there might have been an HR complaint and it just kind of grew, but it never was fully squashed, like girl coming in, wearing open toed shoes, and it would just be a little weird, it would just be a little weird. So there's that. Good times.
Good times. Okay. Well, let's close this out before we go down the very
anyway.
Steve, no review this week because I wanted to take our normal review time and shout out a Shelly that I met IRL. Nice. I met a Shelly out in the wild.
Love
which
that.
Hasn't happened in a while because of the pandemic, so it's been hard to casually run into people. But I did an event for our station 101 ESPN out at Scott Air Force Base over on the hillside here. We had a little Blues playoff celebration thing going on, and I met Shelly. LGB, let's go. Game 2 tonight. Huge game, Steve. Huge.
I'll be locked in.
I know you will. 9:30 start. Rough.
Ooh, we got Warriors-Lakers tonight at 10. So,
I was very much looking forward to Warriors-Lakers, and then I realized not going to watch it because I got to watch the Blues, and the Cardinals are playing too. So anyway, Josh Perschbacher. Sorry, I hope I got that right. Josh Perschbacher.
What up, Josh?
What up, Josh? Came up to me and he said, hey, I'm Shelly. I listened to you in Ceruti. We talked for quite some time. We talked about the pod, and it was just so great to meet a Shelly IRL. So thanks, Josh, for listening.
Yeah, shout out to Josh. I always love when people, I've only met probably a few people that have like in person that have been like, I'm a big fan of the pod. A lot of it's through social media, but it's awesome to see. One of the most recent ones was there was a lot of chatter in my mentions about DMB, obviously.
Oh my God.
Obviously. It just stirs up emotions in people. The other one that stirred up a lot of emotions was the Rosillo and then this pod carryover of what we talked about with Marv too, about actually off the air, but like having kids and being a dad and kind of like losing your friends and like the weird, like I've had a lot of guys give me really, really good feedback on sort of that dynamic and what it's been like for them. And it's really, really cool. Like it's just cool to hear and it's on both sides of the spectrum. Some guys will be like, hey, totally, it's the best thing that's ever happening, but it totally uproots your life. And I haven't been able to see my friends a lot. And other people are like, yeah, I see my friends all the time. We play Call of Duty. It's great. It doesn't matter. So it just kind of depends on you, but I've really enjoyed like hearing from those people. And it's awesome to hear from Josh that obviously he enjoys the show too. And I just love that the Shelly thing that's become a thing is also hilarious. It never isn't funny to me.
I know, because we never tried to make it a thing. It just kind of organically happened. You threw it out there and people picked up on it. And now I love that I get DMs and people will send the little shell emojis. Yep. It's very fun. I will say, Steve, though, that I did get a great DM on Instagram. I should look up who sent it. But a lot of people upset with you about DMB and coming to me to be like, right on, pro Dave. One person DM'd me and said, Ceruti hates Dave, but loves Third Eye Blind. That's all you ever need to know about him. And I said, fair.
Yeah. Okay. But here again, and not to do this over again, but there's a difference. I don't go around standing Third Eye Blind. These DMB people, they're like, it's unbelievable. They're in like a cult. That's the only way I could just describe it. They're like brainwashed to like, oh, DMB. I don't go around like telling people how awesome Third Eye Blind is. I just enjoy Third Eye Blind. Like that. There's a very big difference.
Do you call Third Eye Blind TEB?
I don't. It would be 3EB too. Come on.
Oh, 3EB?
Yeah. The shortened version would be the number 3.
Why? It's third.
Like the number, the numerical number 3.
I know, but why wouldn't you just put a T as in third spelled out?
Because whenever I see it shortened, it's literally the number 3. It's not a TEB.
Oh, you've seen it for it.
Oh yeah, people write it out 3EB. Like
okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because
you wouldn't know, Michelle. You're not in the cult. You're not in the Third Eye Blind cult. We don't want you either. So. All
right. Well, if you haven't already, please head to Apple Podcasts, search for Small Talk, subscribe to it, rate it preferably 5 stars, and leave a review. We'll get back to reviews next week. Steve and I will be back in action then. But until then, don't eat the whole edible before a date.
Hags.
Thanks for listening to Small Talk. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts or the Podcast One app.